We are live. Welcome to my video. This is going to be my thoughts on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 6, Episode 9, Collision Course Part 2. The episode is rated TV 14, so will this video be. And like all other videos I've done on the show, there will be spoilers for the episode itself, as well as everything MCU and adjacent leading up to it. Loved this episode, love every episode of the show so far, and most things MCU and adjacent. Let's dive right in. Well, for this episode, I think there is no way to begin but at the beginning. Wasn't surprised that one of the first few seconds was going to feature the truck barreling towards the tower. Didn't expect it to start out seeming peaceful. That was a neat little expectation subversion. Like we're thinking, oh, what are we seeing here? Why is, yeah. And yeah, they do indeed not manage to get to, yeah. The truck does break the tower, but Daisy, yeah, very, very clever. You know, we've seen her quake powers used destructively so much. Yeah, no reason. There's nothing in the rulebook that says that she couldn't use them to prevent the bomb from realizing that there was a crash kind of thing going on. You know, basically stabilizing the bomb. Very, very clever bit of writing. Good creative use of superpowers. MCU and adjacent are so good at that, honestly. I think that does just about, and it was a great, like, because we just see Daisy like reach out and do something, and then we see the crash and no explosion. It's just, yeah. And yeah, the fact that it's an actual freaking nuke, and it was just such a good. I don't really, you know, tell me everything you know about it. Nothing. Such a great, because we, with that kind of build-up, we think there's going to be like a bunch of details rattle off, and then she says, oh, the smallest part of it would explode, would split, you know, yeah, splitting the atom, yeah. Let's see, the I think that might more or less. Right, yeah, when Daisy's trying to talk Deke into trying to, and also great expectations of version. I thought he was going to be able to, you know, he says, time to dazzle, you know, but yeah, yeah, Daisy's like, you know, you can do this, kind of, you know, pep talk, and, you know, and she says the words, because, you know, yeah, the person who could solve this, you know, and obviously she's about to say you. But then he goes, is Deke Shaw? And Daisy's like, oh my god, we're back to third person. Can't we ask him? And yeah, I think that does pretty well come. Oh, right. I think let's stay in the truck for a little bit. Yeah, genuinely, yeah, the thing with Snow being like, I'm fine, we're all gonna be butterflies. And the thing, you know what? I'm not fine. And yeah, with the device broken, which again, very good bit of setup and payoff, because Deke fixed it and then it broke and then he fixed it again and it broke again, you know, because this is just, yeah. And yeah, without that to deter them, we were told you're gonna want this thing to put off the Shrike. And yeah, they start like flying into it, and you know, how long will it last? We never stuck around long enough to find out, you know, which, yeah, fair enough. Why would you if you don't have to? You know, they kept thinking that they were going to be able to stop the Shrike, stop Izel. Why do you need to know? No, you just make sure the thing works, you know. It's too much of a desperate situation to, yeah. But yeah, and the thing, you know, it'll hold, and then one of them like gets through and stab right in front of his mouth. You know, what was the line? Something about shutting him up or something. Yeah, and they go into Night of the Living Dead mode. Let's board up all the, every window, every entrance. And I think that does pretty well cover. Yeah, great when the, the teleportation and then everyone's reunited. Yeah, I think that covers everything. No need to keep on trucking. So, I think I will talk Fitzsimmons as the, genuinely such a great, like, Izel is like, what, no, I'm not gonna turn you into one of those things. You're smart, and it's this thing of like, oh no, she's like, I mean, she's essentially like a dictator, if she thinks she can use someone, she'll keep them around, but otherwise they're gonna just have to obey her every command. And then when they can't get the communicator to work, she's like, okay, so you are either, if you are not with me, you are my enemy. The only other option is that you're not as smart as I thought you were, which, like, oh, they're kind of stuck, yeah, between a rock and a hard place. And what was the other thing? Yeah, they do finally manage. And the thing, we've been trying for hours. I guess we're not gonna get it to work. Can you make it work? Any second now, because, like, are you really good? Because she's not gonna take no for an answer. And the thing with, the distress code, we are Shield 226. I am also Shield 226. Are you 100% sure that you are Shield 226? That was a great little, because, yeah, we get it. Like, both of them are going, I'm SOS. No, I'm SOS. Well, I said it first. Well, I said it second, okay? I think I neglected to mention, I did really love in an earlier episode, Daisy is still very, very Daisy. When she refers to Sarge as, like, the ass man or something like that. It's just, yeah. And I think that does pretty well. Let's see. Yeah, also, they managed to hide. And, Fitz is like, you smell nice. It's kind of sweet, and it is like, yeah, they're so close, the smell's coming through just fine, there's no way that he can't smell her. They're close. It's a very small, confined area, and yeah, it's just, and I like her little smile. It's like, oh, just, I really, really love Fitzsimmons together. Yeah, I'm so glad that they did get to be together and have such sweet moments together. I think that does cover, right, and also, yeah. No, I think I'll take. I think I'll close on the celebration there at the end of the episode. So let's see. There is obviously the stuff on the Zephyr, and then also the part where they board the outer space one. So I think, yeah, let's talk Zephyr. I quite liked, the thing with, yeah, Sarge's own words being, by the end of this day, I'm gonna have command of my ship back. Told ya. That was a great little, and yeah, genuinely clever. Sarge handcuffs Mac and then threatens one of the shield people. Because that's, he knows by now. Yeah, they're gonna. Mac would not budge if Sarge was just threatening him, but threatening one of the people that he has command over, yeah, that'll do, pig. I guess he's a cop now. But yeah, I kind of appreciate... I'm not sure Izell has lied to Fitzsimmons at all. I think there's just, like, not everything has been said. You could argue lie of omission, but, like, when she says... Like, yeah, when she talks to Sarge seems to back up what she said to Fitzsimmons. You know, it was like the planet was being destroyed by Sarge before she could get the... Yeah, there was something. He has no reason to... Because he clearly hates her guts and doesn't... You know, they don't agree on everything, obviously. Yeah, that was also great. The thing about, you know, you took the people I love and my memories of them, and Izell says, you never had memories to steal. You don't have a memory to steal. And I think she's right, because what reason does she have to lie? I love a villain that doesn't technically lie. That's genuinely such an interesting, you know, yeah. Let's see. I think that might more or less... let's see. Yeah, the thing with the I forget what they're called, but the thing that Pax is like relieved by, you know, I'll never forget that. It, you know, scarred me for life. I mean, not as much as the guy who had his face burned off. And then he does, that is what happens to him, you know, yeah. Let's see, I think, yeah, and the thing with, you know, Snow didn't make it. Yeah, that's... See, Sarge will lie, including to his allies. And the thing about, you know, but Snow is still there. Yes, but... Sweetie, Snow melts really fast. But yeah, yeah, Jacko points out she's not just, you know, we let no one slow us down. She's not no one. She's been with us for years. Yeah, but we've been hunting Izell for longer. You know, he genuinely... They are disposable. They are expendable assets, and in this episode he expends a few of them. Or tries to, with some. And the thing with, you know, you go take care of it, and then he turns on the thing so Jacko can't go back through. Yeah. I think that... Yeah, and Elena and Jacko together are great. You know, handcuffs on, and then he just does the... Yeah. That's exactly what I wanted you to believe. It's, you know, after being told about Tuesday. But the thing with... I mean, that almost must be a purposeful reference, because... I'm gonna make sure I get her name right. Ming-Na Wen is in both of these, so... She's one of the bright spots of that movie. It's fun, but it's bad. Enjoyable garbage, you know, it's that kind of... Anyway... Yes, so the... what was the... Right, I did want to say May smiling near the end of the episode when everyone's reunited. You know, is like, yeah, May doesn't smile much, so it means a lot when she does. You know, I'm not saying, women, you know, this woman should smile more. It's nice to see a character happy that a lot of the time is going through some crap, you know, so... I think that does bring us to... Wait, is he a baker because he can breathe fire? Because that, I do see how that would be useful. But yeah, she manages to talk him into it. And apparently this episode was originally called The Baker, so... Yeah. And... Yeah, the fact that he, there at the end, you know, he grabs the bomb, and, you know, what is anyone going to be able to do to stop him, you know? Sprays the thing, uses the coat to get back on the ship... blows everything up. Yeah. Very tense when they're going, you know, when they board the ship, and, you know, the thing with, you know, no shooting. What did I just say? Oh, good call. Yeah. And I think that might more or less be... Yeah, cool fight between Sarge and Mac, and it's one of those things of, like, you know... It's not technically Coulson, but obviously a lot of people did want to see, just, you know, could you, and in comic books they usually can. Could you find a way for these two good guys to fight each other? Because I just want to see what it would look like, you know. I don't want either of them badly hurt. I just want to see it, you know, because yeah, Mac is bigger. Coulson has more experience. These various kinds of, you know, and because it's Sarge is more ruthless. You know, Mac will do a lot, but there are lines he won't cross. Let's see. I think that might... Right, there's that great bit. I think it's Izel who says, you know, you look the same, but I bet I can recognize your voice. And I don't think Izel is dead, because we didn't see her die, and on this show, in comics in general, comic book media, that can really mean... I think she took over Davis, and that's why he's, like, quote-unquote sleeping. Like, maybe he's pretending, maybe Izel is just exhausted in some way, you know. It works as lowering people's guard, you know. Maybe she was worried about being able to keep up appearances or something, but I'm thinking she can turn into one of the little bat things and then fly into the mouth, because Jocko takes the spiral staircase, which takes longer, which is good for Izel, than the one in Cybermercs, even though it looks very much like it. But you don't have to tell me. I know I'm like the one person who still remembers Cybermercs. But what was the other thing? Yeah, you know, of the other path, Davis comes and is like, I didn't see. Nope, she didn't go inside of me and take me over. That nope, no siree. And let's see, yeah, I really appreciated the consequences to the tower being going smashy. You know, yeah, Izel can feel it immediately, and she's like, there's something wrong here, you know, and she's smart enough to deduce, you know, because she's like, from what I understand, Earth is not that violent, or not, you know, not that eager to destroy alien life. Sarge. And let's see. Yeah, that was also, you know, Sarge had a great moment with the, you know, I'm in charge here. Do you feel in charge, Sarge? And that was one of the worst Banes I've done in a while. Let's see. Then we have... Yeah, I think that brings us to the celebration. Yeah, a lot of great moments. Characters meeting back up. The thing with, you know, Deke just really wants to impress Grandpa. You know, Bobo. He keeps calling me Bobo. That's what you ask to be called. And you know, at first, he, you know, Fitz is like, yeah... Gramps is tired. He's had a long day. Can we do this some other time? But he does care about, you know, oh, you have your own tech company. That's not bad. That's not nothing. And the thing with, you know, Scotland, I'd love to learn more about my roots. I could buy us a castle. I'm not joking. I'll buy us a castle. And there's someone I'd like you to meet, and he's gonna go get snow. That literally, sometimes I'm just such a softie, that literally made me go, "Aw," out loud, because, like, this, you know, it's... In lieu of having her meet, you know, his grandfather, you know, that's very serious. That's a big, like, you know, you are part of my family. That is genuinely kind of sweet, you know, though I agree with, was it Daisy who said, you know, I don't know which one has worse taste. And May's like, she's a serial killer, and Daisy's like, that's what I mean, you know. It's like very, very close, too close to call. Let's see, yeah, and the thing with, you know, no, what are you talking about? She shouldn't be locked up. She's one of us now, and lock her up. No, don't lock her up, you know, just... And also, like, she goes over, like, the salad bowl and just, like, kind of sticks at it. It's just, yeah. Such cringe when purposeful by the episode, I realize. Deke thinks that Daisy's jealous. Oh, that's so just, yeah. That's Deke for you. Ba-da-bop, ba-da-bop. And let's see. Yeah, when she like growls and Snow and tries to attack Sarge and like Deke, is like, take him away, boys. Little baby shield agent, adorable. Right, and it was also great to see. It's been, several episodes now since Piper, Agent Piper and Davis were, sharing the scene, and just the camaraderie between them is great. And her taking a selfie with the hat is, you look like I need a drink. I think that is right. Some sweet moments near the end. People, talking in rooms and such, and yeah, Mac and Elena together. It genuinely is great. I like that. So jumping back slightly, but it's in the episode, not in real life. Knees and back would not be happy with that particular kind of movement. I like that Mac is still calling Fitz Turbo. And the ending, like holy, or the post-credit scene rather, opening the door. You really? Well, I know you don't talk much, and she just draws the gun, shoots him a bunch of times. I don't think that's May in control of her own body. I think Izel has taken her over with one of the bat things, maybe, or something, because it doesn't seem like May to just do that. But, maybe I'm wrong. I'm looking forward to finding out. A couple of days' time is what it looks like right now that it will be. I think that does cover this entire episode. Yeah, fantastic two-parter. Let's see. Right, when they go into the airlock thing, I was thinking, like, wait, are they gonna try to use the same trick? Because, like, let's see, no, yeah, I guess that hypothetically could work, but no, instead it's the teleportation. Yeah. I think that yeah, the swarm of bats was genuinely, like, such a really, really creepy. The visual. I appreciate that. I still feel like occasionally they'll do a shot that's like, this, we could do this with special effects, but let's try to, like, ideally, let's see if we can't avoid the yeah, so that the money will be there for other. Okay. Never mind about that. Okay, but yeah. They keep putting the money where it really needs to be. The towers being destroyed, and the swarm and such, and yeah. When there's a swarm like that, be very careful that you don't accidentally knock a vampire that in some ways is more like a zombie, but okay, whatever, into one of the places that you've, like, successfully barred up, or the swarm will be upon you.